So I am in Mount Vernon, Washington, a city with a really cute, charming downtown, some history, some natural beauty. Right now I'm in the highway intersection and strip mall section of the city, which is just one of those things. Pretty much every city has this, and there are some things I need to buy, and then I'm going to go walk around downtown. So of course, one thing to see in any city, along with its history, its natural areas, very important to find out whether the Dollar Tree is a cool Dollar Tree or an uncool Dollar Tree. Right now I'm walking along, I think, Freeway Drive, which parallels I-5. Not the most scenic part of town. I will be in more scenic places soon, but as they say, it is what it is. Also, this is the type of thing I notice. This sidewalk is very well maintained, very wide. So even though it's not scenic, very safe place to walk. In general, I've noticed the facilities in this city are all really well maintained. So thumbs up. You might also notice that's a cloudy sky. And it is cool and cloudy. We are close to the Puget Sound. I'm assuming that as the day goes on, this will melt off and we'll have a sunnier sky, but hopefully still partially cloudy. Nice weather to walk in, and it is close to solstice, and we are pretty far north, so it's like light. The sun doesn't set until after 9 here. There is a trail system off the road, and so I'm going to take a little detour to see what's on this trail system. These are blackbirds, I think, and they've been following me. And I think this is their nesting season, so they are warning me away. And I am away. So the path turned around and it's been following the river. And so we will see more of that river today. But now I'm just following this path back on its loop to the main part of Mount Vernon, in this direction. As you can see, this park isn't very big. The road is right here, so it's just a wedge. But for me, this is all new to me, so it's a nice place to walk. So this is interesting. I am a couple hundred miles north of where I live, and so this is a sorbus tree. I don't know which sort. There's hundreds of them. And this can be grown as an ornamental tree pretty far south, but for the most part, it does like colder climates. So it's less hot in summer here close to the ocean, and the winters are probably pretty chilly, so that's why we see this here. In other news, we have a very nice path here along the river, and there is a lot of river access and a lot of paths in this city, and hopefully today we will be seeing many of them. Probably not all of them, but many of them. Along here we do see a lot of invasive Himalayan blackberry and the other invasive plants. And you also maybe see that there's riprap along the river, so it looks like the course of the river here has been channelized. So this is a nice view of the river, but this is also not the river in its natural state. It has been changed by settlement. So this rabbit just hopped out of my way, but did not hop very far and seems to be pretty happy in the open. So it's probably there are rabbits here that are accustomed to human presence. So right here, we are right outside downtown. I could turn and see the old shopping district, but as long as I'm on this road, I'm just going to walk along it. Along this path. I'm just going to walk along it. Very quiet and peaceful here. No reason to stop walking along the river, and it's my birthday, dude. So this is not the trail. Apparently the trail goes here, and I'll follow it a while to see if it, rejoins the river. It is the Riverwalk trail. And if not, then I'll turn around because I do have a lot of other things to see today. Thankfully, it's only 11 a.m., so I have a lot of time to do all the things I want to do today along here. So the trail does continue away from traffic. It is a gravel trail, a little bit less decorated, more scrappy, but I have no objection. So yeah, I'm just gonna follow this for a while. Don't know where to turn around, I guess before Stanwood. So it looks like the trail continues for a while. And as far as I know, this is still a public part of the Riverwalk trail. And this trail is actually not on Google Maps, so I don't know where it goes. And also you can see there's a lot of fields around here. So this is Mount Vernon is not a tiny town. We're still close to the Seattle metropolitan area, but there is a lot of agricultural land around here. And I've been walking for a while, and pretty soon I will probably turn around because while this is nice, I do have a lot else to see, as I said. It is always tempting to keep going and see what is around the next bend, but I am going to be returning back to town. I'm going to eat some lunch and then find another trail. So as you can see here, this facility is called Dairy Valley. And right beyond it is a cold storage facility. Dairy Valley, obviously, for milk and dairy products. Cold storage facility, I wasn't sure whether that was for fish or for berries or for dairy, for flowers. But this city was founded by Europeans, probably as a transit point for agricultural products and the like in the surrounding area. And there's still a lot of that. You know, like I said, there's a cute downtown, which I promise we will see. But then right outside of it, just like we saw in Eureka, there are a lot of industrial facilities. So here's the warehouse facility, and as you can see, it is pretty extensive. We have these two really big buildings here. This is the Mount Vernon Library. Gorgeous area here. Plaza. We have a mandala, we have a mancala board, which I didn't know, I had to look up what that was. We have all these flowers, sculpture. Unfortunately, today is a Sunday and the library is closed. I was going to go in there and see if they had any information about the ferries and just to see the library, but it is closed, so I'll just have to admire it from the outside and then go and see more of Mount Vernon. So this is the Skagit Family Health Clinic and the Mount Vernon Birth Center, where I was born 44 years ago today. One thing I'm not sure about, if the birth center is in the same building. This building could have been new, but I was born in the birth center here. My older sister was born here as well, and my friend Jaylene, who passed away, was born here. So kind of an emotional place to be. And so this is kind of like the neighborhood I was from. Now this was a birth center, and my family came here specifically, my mom came here specifically to give birth to me. So I didn't actually live here for any amount of time. I was here for a day. My family lived in the Seattle area, so the next day we went south. So it's kind of interesting that in some ways I'm very native. This is where I come from, but you know, also I've only been here 4 or 5 times since that day. Maybe a half dozen, I don't know. But especially if it was in the same place, kind of interesting. I was born a block away from the transit center and train station, so maybe it did have an influence. I take a trip around the world twice, from knowledge to born, back to knowledge precise. So this is the transit center and bus station. And there is Sunday service. It's a little bit limited, but there is Sunday service. I will actually probably be coming back here to take a bus at some point. And tomorrow I will be using this for more transit use, and I'll probably show more of the station tomorrow. For now though, I mean, I'm finally going to actually go to downtown like promised. So this is the old downtown area, shopping district. Also, as mentioned earlier, I said it was kind of a cool day. You can see it's a lot sunnier. It is warmer. People have come outside to enjoy the warmth. Coffee lounge and wine bar. As you can see, this is also kind of a fancy area. Co-op's Deli with ice cream. I think this might be the birthday I am looking for. So I had a milkshake and an iced tea, and it was pretty busy in there, and it's busy here in downtown. I will be leaving downtown soon. One thing to say, even though I like this downtown and it's my birthday and I want to be positive, One thing though, like a lot of smaller cities, I talked about this in Albany, Oregon, you have this really scenic small business downtown, a lot of pedestrian traffic, but it's pretty much enclosed on all sides by a city that's, based around highways and cars and stuff. There is good transit here, there is residential neighborhoods, but sometimes you can have a tourist-oriented downtown like this, and it's not indicative of what the entire city is like. We have a bookstore here, and I went to a book signing with my grandmother where she was signing books in 1993 and then in 1990, and I think it might have been here. It was a old bookstore. Maybe it was a different bookstore, maybe it was this bookstore at a different location, but looks like a nice place to go into. I'm remembering about the Terry Pratchett quote about bending reality. I could spend a lot of time in there. But instead, I'm going to head over this way. And then we have this little plaza, and people are walking around, and then you have something's going on that's gluten-free, of course. Anyway, so I'm going to just check out a little bit more downtown and then walk outside. I have another trail to follow. So I've left the immediate downtown area, but as you can see, there's still restaurants here, including a place where you can get a martini brunch. So we're not in the strictly residential area. Also a lot of, small offices, dentists, accountants, that type of stuff. Like I talked about McMinnville, still that part. And we're continuing this way, and we'll see more of just these residential sides of town. So that right there is South 3rd Street, South 3rd Road. That was the road apparently I was born on. Right now I'm on 4th, and as it leaves the town, it becomes Old 99. And of course, I've seen Highway 99 east and west, two roads through the Willamette Valley many times. So apparently I can say I was born on Highway 99. Spent a lot of my life living up and down Highway 99. Anyway, I'm leaving town. I'm going to go east, and the plan is to walk into those hills. And we will see how that goes. So a lot of times when I look at things on a map, they look like they might just be a quick little jaunt along a nice little street. And then, maps don't always show you how distant things are. So as it is now, I'm walking out of town, trying to find something called Little Mountain Park. And I suspect, based on the steepness of this hill, that mountain might not be as little as I thought. Here is Hillcrest Park. This is not the park is actually my destination, but it is a park, and it's a park with what looks to be some shade. So I'm going to check out what's going on here. I have no objections to this. This is a nice place to be. So as a point about looking at maps, I saw this park on a map, and when I looked at it, I thought this looked like a neighborhood park, like, place to go and toss some frisbees. But this is a, not obviously wilderness, but this is pretty natural. So I didn't know that until I came here. Although apparently it does have that aspect too. So kind of reminds me of Battleground Lake Park when I was a kid. So most of the facilities I've come across in this city and this area so far have been very well maintained, very convenient. That includes this water fountain, which is working well. And in general, you can see this park is very well maintained. So, thumbs up. So this is a very nice park, Hillcrest Park. And this is more of like a neighborhood park. I was originally going to go to Little Mountain Park, which is a little bit further. And one thing is I didn't bring enough fluids, and the day turned out to be a little bit hotter than I thought it would. So rather than doing that, I'm going to turn around and go back into town through some nice little residential neighborhoods, and I have more to see. So I'm just walking back up in the hills now, and when I was born, when I was a kid, neighborhoods like this in little towns in Washington State were just cute little unpretentious places that people could live cheaply. Nowadays, probably most of these houses are like upper six figures or $1 million homes. I'm not 100% certain of that. That's something you can research on your own. That might change in a couple of months, a couple of years. But I would guess, you know, if this area, if this town has shown the pattern that my own town of Corvallis has shown, you know, what used to be kind of just a normal little slow-paced small town, you know, has changed. And it's probably like, you know, most of the people living in here are probably professionals. Some people might be living here because they're commuting all the way to Seattle or at least to Everett. Incidentally, and this is showing in many different places, this city does have this little tulip theme. A lot of tulip decorations. And right now I'm heading back into town, down this road, and then under this underpass into the freeway, under the freeway, back into town, and then I'm going somewhere else. So that is a bus I'm getting on. So my Mount Vernon part of the trip is kind of over because I'm going over to the next town to the north, Burlington. And I saw a lot of things in Mount Vernon. Hopefully I showed a little bit. I know it was kind of scattered, but that can be a big part about coming to a town is, you know, you see lots of different places and sometimes they're close together. And like I said, I was born here, so the first time I came here, I was really confused about everything that was going on around me too. Anyway, so that concludes for today, but there will be more coming and going.